Alright, what up people? SimFBallCritic. And yes, that is correct. It's not just football, man. I play a lot of games. And I stumbled across a game here. I've been hearing about it from several people. My man, I want to say his name is LC Carter, or LCJ Carter, something to that effect. As far as his gamer tag, I can't remember exactly what your YouTube name is, but shout outs to him. He put me on this game as well. Well, he gave me some good information last night. We actually played a few games. This is what you're looking at right now is probably about my 8th game. Very new to this game. So yeah, you can call me a noob, whatever you want to call me, looking at the gameplay. But anyway, let me go ahead and let you know what this is. For those of you that don't know, this is Battlefield Bad Company 2. Hey man, all I can say is I'm really digging this game, man. I'm a shooter guy. I do play the sports, of course, sports first. But I also have a love for the shooters. I've been on shooters ever since. See if y'all remember this one. Ever since 007 on the Super Nintendo, well, Nintendo 64. 007, Nintendo 64. That was the game that had like Odd Jobs and all those guys. Me and my cousins and my boys, we used to, do the 4 squares. Everybody got a square and we go for broke. Those were the good old days. But yeah, so also when Xbox hit the scene, I was a huge Halo guy. The first Halo, in my opinion, was my favorite because it was the first. I did like the second one, but after that Halo, to be honest with you, after I got into the Call of Duty series, Halo just didn't progress enough for me. Also another series that I was a fan of, Ghost Recon. I think I had Ghost Recon 2. I like a lot of the things that was implemented in that game, man. Same goes for Rainbow Six. What I like about those games was the fact that you could peek around the corner and things like that. I think that should be a standard in any shooter. We play several games and, there's a lot of things that I've noticed that are in one game that might not be in another. I never got around to playing Gears of War. Haven't played Medal of Honor. And it's just a couple games I didn't get to, but for the most part, if you play one shooter, you've pretty much played them all as far as, how they work. But I can definitely see that there are games out there that, you can have your favorite or your preference and all of that. And like I said, man, the things I like to see implemented in any shooter, this is the Sim Standard. This is not the Sim Standard channel, but I am a member of that channel. And my channel is the SimFactor. A lot of people ask me, what does that mean? The SimFactor. What role the simulation plays in any games. You have to pay respect to the simulation factor. Anytime you go into any game, you have to, show your respect to the sim aspect, the sim factor of the game. As you see me get my little kill right there. But anyway, yeah, man, I like to see the ability to, squat, lay down, post up, put your back up against the wall, peek around the corner. That should be standard in pretty much every shooter at this point. Like I said, the Rainbow Six series had that. I think Ghost Recon had that ability as well, but I know for sure Rainbow Six. I can't remember which one of the Rainbow Six, but whichever one that was, man, that allowed you to scan your face in the game. That was really the first one that I got into. So, as in regards to Bad Company, Battlefield, I'm gonna tell you, man, I copped the game, I want to say, yeah, last night. I was able to go to GameStop, and just because they're close by. The only reason why I went there is because sometimes they run specials or what have you. So, And pretty much in my area, man, other than my mom and pop shop, which is not, right up the street, it's a little ways away. Of course, you got your Best Buys and Targets and things like that. But really, GameStop is the only place where you get games. So anyway, long story short, I go in there. They got a used copy. It was in there for like $19.99. I don't know why it was so cheap. I saw online it was $29.99. But anyway, I said, hey, might as well pick it up. A lot of people have told me about it. And just to give you my brief opinion, keep in mind this is like my 8th game. There could be things that I haven't seen. I'm sure there are flaws, like every game. But initial impression, comparing this to Black Ops, this is just my opinion, people. This is not even going to say opinion. I'm going to say preference. To be honest with you, I prefer this game, man. This really makes me feel like I'm on the battlefield. This game is strategic. Call of Duty, Black Ops, it's fun. I'm sure I'll still play that from time to time, but this game has got my attention, man. I really like how this game is set up, man. Like my man that I was playing with last night was telling me, you really got to get used to it. Smitty was saying that as well. This game is a little different. It's like the 4th person I've heard say that. It's more of a simulation style. This is like war. You got to be strategic. You can't just go out there and run and gun. You got to know how to flank people. You got to, just understand the maps. And that's another thing. The environment is so big, man. I feel like I'm really in war. Just a couple things to point out that I like. Another thing that I like about this, now I know this will probably be debatable. Some people will say, oh, that's not realistic, or what have you. But what I really like about this game is you have the ability to run as long as you want. Now, true, if we want to get technical, nobody can just run. I agree. But I think we all should be able to agree in the military. I don't know if some of you guys are military guys, but military people are in good shape. They train for war. There are situations, my dad was military. My dad did several wars. He's told me how I got down. He was out there getting down and dirty. And sometimes you gotta hump, man. You gotta run. You get back to camp or wherever you're trying to get to. So in comparison to the Call of Duty series and Black Ops, I don't like how you can only run for a short sprint, short amount of time, or then you got to get, Marathon Pro and all that. And I'll be fair, I didn't even realize that was a big deal until I played this game. It made me realize, you know what? You probably should. It's probably better to have the ability to be able to run when you want. So, okay, neither one of them may be realistic, but I have to say, if I had to choose one, I'm going to go with the option that allows me to run, unlimited sprint. And, I'm liking the weapons so far. Like I said, I'm 8 games in, man. I don't really have a lot of guns and things like that, but just look at how the environment is set up, man. As you can see, I don't have a red dot. I think the gun I'm using right here doesn't really have a lot of range, so I couldn't get that guy on the roof. I'm paying attention to him, and his guy gets me from the right side. So I think this video is about to wrap up. I just wanted to put this up, show guys what I was doing tonight. It's not just football, man. I love football. I love the sports games, but I do it all. So before I get cut off on this video, let me go ahead and say it. Let me know what you think. Give me your opinions. Let me know what's your favorite shooter. All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and end this up, and I'll let it play out. I think I'm about to cut it off in a minute. Yeah, man, just let me know what you think, man. And yeah, right here's about to cut out. So, all right, guys, leave your comments.